inspiration, education, action. This is the Seeds to Success Show with Ben Godinez on Money 105.5.
Welcome back to the Seeds to Success Show. I'm your host and Insurance 101 guy, Ben Godinez. Me and Caliph were just talking about dream homes here on the break, and we're talking about where we're going to be in the future. And if you're watching this in post-production, you're watching this via goviewthishome.com. They're changing the way real estate is done, and we're talking about like the video that you see on if you go to like go view a home on Zillow or whatever. If you see a video, it just personalizes it so much more, and you can actually kind of feel yourself in the home. So we were just saying, like, instead of doing 12, house showings a day, or, you're going to spend the entire weekend going and checking out houses, just go to goviewthishome.com. Or if you're a real estate agent, you need to be working with them so that you can actually show your clients what it is, and don't waste all Saturday afternoon looking at 12 houses that are garbage. Narrow it down to 3 that they actually really like by watching the video and high quality pictures. So go check them out. You can email jim@goviewthishomes.com if you want to work with them, or go follow them on social media at goviewthishome and check out their work. It's absolutely incredible. All right, well, hey, we're jumping into persistence, which is the topic here of the third segment with Caliph Assagai, speaker and motivational coach here. We're talking about achieving your dreams and all that stuff. Dude, talk to me about persistence.
Oh, man. The number one thing you need to be successful, the number one quality or trait that you need to be successful is definitely persistence. A lot of times we pick one plan and that plan fails, and we decide, well, that didn't work out, and we move on to a new goal. And the way to really achieve success, whether it's your success in quitting something, quitting smoking, or losing weight, or starting a business, or living your dream, whatever that might be, is to not change your goal but change the plan, or not change your goal but change the timeline. When you believe that there's only one way to accomplish something, and that if that way doesn't work out, it cannot be accomplished, you're lying to yourself. You're just giving up. Persistence means that you find a new route, a new approach to whatever you're trying to do, right? So if I've told you, come to my house and pick up $1,000, you got to be here in the next 20 minutes, and you hit a roadblock, you're not just going to go home. Like, oh, yeah, no, here's a roadblock. You're going to find a detour.
Right.
And success requires detours quite frequently. But persistence means that you find that new path, and that you essentially just never give up.
Have the ant mentality where, you put have you ever done this? Like when you see a little line of ants and then you like cross your finger across it. Now you've got the scent, and now they don't just stop, turn around and like give up. And they're like, oh, well, I guess that's not ever going to work again. They just find a way around whatever roadblock you put in the way of them.
Right.
There is no option to quit.
No. And that's what persistence really is, just knowing that what seems like a failure is just a temporary setback. It means you either have the wrong plan. You didn't do it right this time. And this is like weight loss is a great example for this, because there's people who go to the gym and they work out. I worked out 30 days straight, didn't lose any weight. It's like, all right, well, what kind of workout were you doing and what were you eating? Because somebody's right next to you lost 15 pounds in that time. And that doesn't mean that you can't lose weight. It just means you weren't doing it right.
Right.
And so you don't give up and say, well, I'm just going to, hold on to this weight now. And it's like, okay, let me adjust my diet. And did that really change anything? Okay, but maybe I need to make a further adjustment, or I need to, change my workout. Wasn't doing intervals. It's always about that new plan, but just keeping that goal, that vision there, and knowing what it looks like. And that's the other thing that persistence requires, is knowing what you're persisting towards, right? Like, what are you working for? And if you know what that is, and you're motivated enough and excited enough about it, then you're just going to keep going.
I watched one of your videos on YouTube, and it was really impactful. I've been listening to it nearly every day for the last couple of weeks since you posted it.
Say what?
Yeah. It was your speech at what was the name of the event?
Impact, Purpose, Destiny Seminar.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I've had it on repeat because something that you said in there was really great. You said you're talking about your goal, and you might set like a year timeline on it.
Right.
And then a year comes, and you don't just, instead of just saying, oh, that didn't work, it's not going to happen, maybe you just push it back to a 5-year plan,
right,
like, or whatever, and you change your plan to get there.
Right.
Don't give up on it.
Yeah.
And that was huge. Can you talk a little bit more about that, though, about people, and they get to the timeline and then they just quit. And they revert back to their old ways.
A friend of mine said to me, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can do in 5.
That's what it is.
And when you're looking at your goal, you might say, I want to make $100,000 in the next 30 days. I just got into this personal development space, and they said if you they said that if you write it down and you work for it, it must happen, right? And then it doesn't happen when you thought, and people will say, well, I didn't make my $100,000 in 30 days, so I'm just going to,
Stuff must not work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And it's just, that's where I think persistence really comes in is again, changing your plan and then changing your deadline, allowing yourself time to grow, because the goal isn't really about what you're going to achieve. It's about the person that you become. If I told you where I thought I would be on May 31st, 2016, when I decided to be a motivational speaker, it's not here, right? It's like,
it's just not actually.
Yeah, there have been setbacks, challenges. People have let me down left and right. I've let myself down sometimes in putting too much faith in other people, thinking there's some golden ticket out there to my success. If you do one great speech, they will come, right? It's like just not what's going to happen. You got to get out there and grind and market yourself. And so, if I thought that I could transition into doing this full time in, a year or two after making my decision, but it's going to take work. And I haven't given up. I've just gotten more hungry for the success that I desire, because I know the type of service that's come in the things that I've been able to do and the coaching clients that I have had, the transformation in their life, the people that have come to my speeches and had the impact and told me about the impact it's had. I said, well, it's working. It's just not where I thought it was going to be as far as pace, but that's fine, because I'm like the best I've ever been, because I've been trying so hard and I've been learning so many lessons and I've been persisting and I've been just acknowledging that, hey man, it's not about the timeline. It's about the service again. And whether you do it in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years, once you're able to reach thousands of people every year and inspire them to change your life, you've gotten there. So don't give up until you've served your purpose.
That's right. Yeah. Again, what you said, I'm going to reiterate what you said about, it's not about the destination or the timeline, can be interchangeable. It's about the person you become during that.
Right.
And so people sometimes will even set a goal based on the person that they are today, not based on the person they're going to become.
Yes.
And so that limiting belief is like, this is as far as I can foresee myself, obtaining. So you got to continuously be adapting your goal and how you're going to get there and the person that you're going to become. And that's part of what hooked me on this whole program of personal development, because I couldn't fathom doing what I'm doing here today 2 years ago. Right. But it was like, you need to be open to the possibilities of what you're going to become.
Yeah.
Think big.
2 years ago, I hadn't even listened to a motivational speech, let alone.
Right.
I was like, what? And then once it came in,
Me.
You just reminded me of a quote. It's an original. It's one of my favorites, which is, don't set goals you know you can achieve. Set goals you have to grow to achieve.
That's the one.
And even though it's my own quote, I love it because it's true. It's like, hey, man, don't just say, oh, hey, I'm pretty sure I can accomplish this, and that's a goal. That's just a task if you know you can do it. A goal is something that you're saying, hey, who do I have to become? What else do I have to be? How much more do I have to give to accomplish what I've set out to accomplish here? That's a goal. Right. That's something that makes you go, man, I've got work to do, or woman, I've got work to do. Whatever it is, like, I'm gonna get on it. It's not gonna come easy.
That's right. So talking about persistence again, you're gonna run into roadblocks and challenges and whatnot. Like, when you run into those roadblocks, like you said, like, they are essential. They're going to happen. They're not failures. They're just detours. Mm-hmm. What do you encourage people to do to get around that? Because emotionally, some people get distraught and they get just jacked up in the middle of everything. Right. Like, what resets you? What gets you on that right path again?
It's really about self-reflection and thinking, how did I get here? What is it that brought me to this place? What was the path that I walked, and when did I actually get on the wrong path that led me to this roadblock? And really looking and just really making an assessment of the plan that you use. And also, did you really do your best? Because sometimes people think they did everything they could do, and then upon reflecting, they know that they skipped a bunch of steps. They thought there was a shortcut. A lot of times, roadblocks are blocking shortcuts, what people think are shortcuts. Yeah. It's rare that somebody gets in a marathon and veers off course, but if you get off course and you run into the forest and you wonder what happened, you're like, oh, I can't get anywhere. It's bull, but you weren't on the right path to begin with. Yeah. And so, that's one thing. The other thing is, if you keep running into a wall, look for the writing on the wall. There's a message there for you. right?
nugget
In
right
all
there.
those, in all those things those challenges that you're facing, there's something there. So what is the world trying to teach you by blocking you from this? And for me, it was self-reliance. I thought people were going to be booking me a bunch of speeches. I hired this coach who I thought he was just going to flow me all these speeches. All you have to do is be awesome and show up. And it was like, bro, you need to hustle. You need to grind. You need to do this on your own. It's all on you. Not to say that there's not resources, but you know, this is your dream. This is your time. You're in control. You cannot wait on other people. You have to take action. You have to believe. And you have to never give up.
That's right.
And that's where I got, when I hit the wall, that's what I said to myself that day. Like, wait a second. You hit a wall, but you weren't even driving the car.
That's right.
You gave the keys to somebody else. So how do you, as an individual, stay on your path and stay in control of your life? And just know that what's on the other side of that wall is worth fighting for. So keep going.
One thing that keeps me going, you know, I remind myself of this all the time, and sometimes it's just daily tasks at home, like it's the chores or whatever.
Right.
But one thing that I remind myself of is how would I feel if I went this far and didn't complete my task?
Right.
Oof.
Don't turn back.
Hit you at home.
Yeah.
That's right. Stay with us here on the Seeds of Success show with Caliph Assagai.
Inspiration, education, action. This is the Seeds to Success show with Ben Godinez on Money 105.5.